Yeah.
No more babies.
I don't get bitter
No more
about her
babies.
vacations.
No more babies.
Yeah.
I'm not having any more babies.
I don't want to have any more babies.
Well, if I wasn't nursing a baby, which I hopefully am not anymore, and I'm not. That sounded really weird. She asked him.
No more babies. Welcome back to the Calm the Storm, the Whimsy podcast. In our last episode, we talked about vacations, and this week we want to continue this conversation. So, do you like staying at hotels or Airbnbs?
I've never stayed in an Airbnb, but I want to because hotels kind of creep me out unless they're at like somewhere nice.
Yeah.
Because I found this hotel like a suite for my birthday, and I'm like, I'm going to work on my photo albums for my kids. And it was a very well-known resort chain. Like, it's a nice place. Like, I was like, okay, this is great. That's a good deal. Okay, I found a good deal on this. Sweet. So Hillary goes with me, and we get there, and it was terrifying.
It was pretty scary.
It was.
So weird.
I didn't show up.
And I was scared for my life. And then we asked somebody for help on something, and we heard stories about things happening at that hotel that we wish we hadn't learned about.
We're not going to share those stories.
So we won't stay there again ever. So I think I'm leaning more towards the Airbnb, but I haven't done it yet.
So I feel like the Airbnb is kind of like the beach house that you would rent.
Oh, yeah.
Ish, yeah.
For sure.
So that's definitely the way that you would go.
Yeah.
Doesn't always go well, guys. During COVID, we rented an Airbnb that was like an hour drive from the ocean.
There was extra perks, though, with that one, wasn't there?
All the perks.
Yeah, so many perks. So it was actually 30 minutes from the ocean. So we were like, we're going to get a house with our own pool because I didn't want to worry about the pool closing with all the crazy rules that were going on that year. And we drove all night. We showed up. We pull in the driveway after we're all driving. Like, we're exhausted because it was like 20 hours. And the guy that rented the house to us is in the driveway with another person. And we walk up and he goes, "Oh, are you here to look at our car?" And we said, "No, we're here to rent the house." And he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm selling the car." So he kept having people come to the house to try to buy his car. Then they left. Well, we had to sit on the couch and watch them finish cleaning because they weren't ready for us yet. They tried to get us to sit out in the back. And I'm like, "No, I'm exhausted. I'm tired. We're sitting down." Then she tries to get us to dog sit for her all week. And I said,
We know how much you love dogs.
I am not a dog person. Did I bring a dog with me? No, I'm not watching your dog. And then she offers to babysit for me so we could go on a date one night. And I'm thinking,
What?
Do people really do that? Like
Your children?
Yes.
Babysit your children.
Yes.
And you don't know who these people are.
Never met them.
But did they have good reviews?
She never looked at the reviews.
I'm not like you. I don't read all the stuff and I don't do enough research.
She would have known that this would have been happening.
Probably. So then throughout the week, they kept showing up to our house. We're in the pool. And the next thing we see is, "Hi, guys." And they like peek through the fence. They brought us like orange juice and stuff. Like, they were so nice, but it was so weird.
Okay, that's a little weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
too much.
Yeah. And then we went out for the day. And when we came back, they're trying to sell their car in the driveway again. It was just the strangest experience. So I personally like the high rises right on the beach.
So
High
vacation
rise.
tip.
Yes.
Always look at the reviews. If there's hundreds of them, read them all.
I'm the worst.
If it's not like 4.5 stars, don't even bother because somebody had a bad experience and you don't want one.
I feel like I should go back and look now and see what the reviews are for that place.
I wonder if the car ever sold or if that's just a way to know who you are more.
Oh, that's so
Or was it
scary.
their
on
own
you.
house and they were staying at a hotel?
Maybe it wasn't even their house. The people that owned it left.
Oh, gosh.
And then
And
these
they wanted to
creepers
watch
were
your
there.
kids.
And they're like, "Hey, oh, you're here for the car? Oh, the house. That's right. Oh, shoot. We better
I
clean this
forgot.
place up."
You
We
guys.
gotta clean this up before they come in.
Okay.
I bet it's not even their house.
Stop it. Lesson
You should look it up.
You're making my eye twitch. Stop it.
Reviews are important
I know. Now I know.
because I rented from a realty company once, and the pictures look amazing. And I'm like, this is really great. I called the place and I'm like, can you tell me it's beautiful. Like, you're going to love it. No, I stopped renting from realty companies.
Really?
Yeah. If I can't see people's honest reviews, I won't rent there.
Okay.
So now in like South Carolina, we have a guy that we've been renting from since Dorian, and he's just great. And I found him on Vrbo, found all the reviews. He's not on there anymore. He's on a Dunes Realty, but
You already had a relationship.
I already
with
had a
him.
relationship.
Gotcha.
So it's hard to leave that place because he's so great.
Yeah.
So reviews are important.
Yeah.
Reviews.
Days in,
No.
didn't you have an experience there?
It's called Grant.
I made a baby.
With a gap in the door?
Oh, yeah. You could see through the door, like on the floor and on the side of the wall. But we were there because we were escaping a hurricane.
Yeah.
I didn't
So you had
pick.
to go to wherever
You had to
could
go
get
where there was
to.
availability.
Yes.
Yes.
I didn't pick that.
You were on your way out of.
So anybody who offers to babysit your children or ask you to babysit their animals, not who you want to rent from.
So here's a funny story. We were driving to the beach one year when I used to stop and like stay all night, which was a stupid idea if you have children, because then you have to pack a bag to stay overnight, and you have to get all their stuff out and put up pack-and plays and all this
no.
stuff.
She has to pack the bag and then unpack the bag in the
No,
hotel for
not
one
that.
night.
Oh my
But
goodness.
it's just
Is there a laundromat
annoying.
close by? Just put 5 things in your bag and just go.
So we were planning on driving through, but for some reason we didn't, so we stopped somewhere. So it was me, my mother-in-law, father-in-law. We had 4 children. Nope, we had 2 children, so it was my 2 oldest and my brother-in-law. And we stopped in this town because everybody was getting tired. We needed to stop, so we stopped. And the only place after going from hotel to hotel was the Best Western. And I'm like, oh my gosh, there's nothing we can do. So we go in and they're like, we only have 1 room left. There's this big conference going on and there's like no rooms anywhere, which is true because I tried to find one online. So we took 1 room. And it was insane. Josh had to sleep on the floor. Me and Pappy are one bed. Me and my husband are in the other. And then we have a pack and play. And I'm pretty sure my oldest was in the middle of us.
That is amazing.
And then the air conditioning went out in the middle of the night. So it was a good time.
Did you have a Band-Aid on your mouth?
No, but maybe if I did, it just would have been a better experience.
Speaking of bad experiences, one time Aaron and I had decided that we were going to go visit our friend's camper down in Loudonville. And his parents were staying at the camper, and he was staying at the camper. So Aaron and I rented a cabin, and we went to the camper, we hung out for the night, and then we decided to go to the cabin afterward. So we hadn't checked in yet. So when we went there, we like drove up this long, dark hill. And as we were driving up there, I'm like, oh my goodness, this is like not where I want to stay. This is probably why I have like issues with staying places. So we get up to the top of the hill and there's like nobody there. No cars. I'm like, oh my gosh, like where are we? So he goes in, he checks in. The guy gives him a key. I'm sorry, I don't think it was actually a cabin. Now that I think about it, I think it was like a long, like motel type thing, but it was like cabin-ish. Like it looked like it was in the woods. And so we went in to this room and I was like, oh my gosh, like I think we're going to die tonight. Like literally I was afraid to sleep. I kept all of my clothes like on. I had my hoodie up. I had it up over top of my head. I did not cover up with the blanket and I literally laid straight all night long, and I was like, okay, if I don't die, this is just disgusting. So I felt like it was like from a horror movie or something. We're like driving up, and I was like, nope, not doing it.
Took a wrong turn.
Yeah, wrong turn.
No.
Motels,
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so have you traveled abroad, and where have you traveled to?
Yes.
Yes.
That's why I'm afraid of airplanes. Africa, Russia.
Yep. I've been to Europe as well when I was in high school. So we went on this trip, and they were looking for more people to go on this trip, and I had stopped taking French class. But they had space, so I'm like, okay, I'll go. I couldn't remember how to say anything, do anything, so I had to, like, pay this kid that was with me to, like, order my food.
Oh, my gosh.
It was a good time.
Oh, my gosh. Did you get discounts, though?
Well, I had this big decision to make. So we're all there, and we can take a 3-hour bus ride to go see Stonehenge, because we were there as well. Or we could just do whatever, which I'm trying to remember. Like, did I just wander around by myself with some friends? I don't remember. I'm sure somebody was with us, but I can't really remember. But anyway, I decided to skip Stonehenge to go to the Doc Martens department store.
Yes.
And it was the best decision I ever made. I bought the coolest shoes. They were green velvet Doc Martens, and I got some red ones. My mom was so disappointed because she's like, you went to what? She wasn't happy because I picked a shoe store over Stonehenge. But it was like 3 hours to get there, and then you get out and you can't even get close, so why? And then all the people that went, they're like, yeah, it was cool, but the Doc Martens store would have been way better.
I had a blast.
Yeah, the shoes are amazing.
That's
I
awesome.
have been to Nicaragua,
Fun.
Ecuador, and Hungary.
That's fun.
And it was,
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that
Yeah.
either. Were they
Yes.
all mission trips?
They were all missions trips, yes. 2 of them were with youth group missions trips, and one of them was a family missions trip. But 3 of us, myself and 2 others, were not part of a family. We just went as extra. And let me just tell you, it was an adventure. We were there for 3 weeks.
Fun.
And 2 of the weeks we did VBS and actual missions work. And then the last week we just stayed. Actually, it was just the 2 friends and I stayed by ourselves and just toured Hungary. I think we were like 19. So it was super crazy.
So fun.
Yes, I didn't eat a lot and I came home very skinny. But
We'll have to do a
Let's go to
podcast.
Hungry then.
Yeah. We should do a podcast on mission trips that we've been
Oh,
to.
for sure.
'Cause There's
Yeah.
so many stories.
Yeah.
the stories of mission trips.
Yeah.
For sure.
Good stuff.
So some youth groups go on mission trips, and some youth groups go
to the lady at the
to
grave.
the Lady at the Grave.
Yeah, yes.
I was in the wrong youth.
Yeah,
No, I'm
probably.
just kidding.
Yes.
Kidding. That's so cool, though.
Yeah.
We've all been on mission trips.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
fun.
So many stories.
So many stories. Okay. Do you prefer active and adventurous vacations or relaxing in your free time?
I prefer to be busy because then I don't get homesick. But everybody else likes to relax. So that's why I get homesick. But it is good for me to stop and not be busy and just sit by the ocean and sleep longer than I normally do and just take it easy. But it's hard on my brain. What about you?
Well, I like to relax. I don't think that my upcoming vacation is going to be relaxing,
Does not sound like it.
Bring your AirPods.
but I will bring my AirPods, I will bring my books, and I will read when I have a moment. But honestly, I don't think that a lot of my vacations, other than going to Florida, have been very relaxing because we did Washington, D.C. in one day. But we didn't do everything. But the things that we wanted to do, we did. And I think we walked like over 20,000 steps or something like that. It was so ridiculous. But yeah, how about you?
I like both. I like the exhausting trips and I like the relaxing ones. So I just, my youngest is 6. So when I turned 40, my friend from college made Lenny promise that since she flew up to see me for my 40th, that he would allow me to get away finally, since if I wasn't nursing a baby which I hopefully am not anymore, and I'm not. That sounded really weird. She asked him.
No more babies.
She goes, we've been trying to get her to go somewhere with us, but it's been 84 years, and she's been nursing babies since Eliza was a baby.
That is true.
So anyway, he agreed, and she kept it in a text, and then she showed him, and he was like, okay, I guess you're going on this cruise. So I went on a cruise, and it was a bunch of moms to get away and relax, but I couldn't. I had to do everything there was. There was a boat full of Santa Clauses. Like, it was a Santa convention. Like, I saw the first Santa, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. And then they're like, did you know there's 46 Santas on this boat? I'm like, no. So it was my personal mission to get as many selfies with the Santas that I could. And so we did disco dancing with Santas. I learned how to do the Thriller. Was it? Yeah, the Thriller with Mrs. Claus, who is amazing. Best Mrs. Claus ever. And
Mrs. Claus, follow us.
she does follow me. I'm going to have to send her a message because we're BFFs now. Sorry, Mrs. Claus, but I do love you guys. Anyway, it was a fun trip. But when my other friends were like chilling or relaxing, I'm like, okay, we got to figure out what else we can do. So,
Okay.
and it was cold and rainy and nasty weather, but it was a fun trip.
Yeah, that's another trip she left us to go on.
Yeah.
Where she
Just
couldn't
recently.
talk to us.
Yeah.
It's fine.
No,
So
so
I'm not
She just sent videos
until
like,
I
in the
lost
beginning
service.
until she lost service.
Yeah. I'm not.
And she looked like she was having so much fun,
It
and I
was a
was
blast.
so jealous.
Yeah. I'm not
was a
bitter
blast.
about it at all.
You guys have to
No.
come on the next one.
Yeah.
No more babies.
I don't get bitter
No more
about her
babies.
vacation.
No more babies.
Yeah.
I'm not having any more babies.
I don't want to have any more babies.
Well.
I didn't want to anyway, but
We are glad you did.
I
Because
am
he's
too.
the
He's
cutest
the
thing
best.
ever.
He is so cute.
but it's never my
Little
plan.
Ian is such a sweet little guy.
It's not his name.
We did throw her a hurricane instead of a shower just because it fit.
We
It was
did.
more appropriate.
Yeah.
Super appropriate. Okay. What would be your ideal vacation? I'll go first. So, I think that I'm not really a beach person. I'm sorry. I think my favorite ideal vacation would be Ireland. I would love.
That sounds
Is
so
there a
good.
reason that you?
It just sounds good.
Ireland. I envision being in an Irish pub, drinking a warm Irish beer, and dancing
On
to
the
Irish
tables.
music on the table.
For sure on the table.
Dancing to Irish music as if it was St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, and I would just like to point out again, that's where the ish from the calm comes in.
Yes.
Because you would not be calm in that scenario.
No. There is certain scenarios in which I am not calm.
Yes. So kids or no kids?
No kids.
All right.
Just Aaron and I.
That sounds fun. I don't know. I like to try new things, go new places, but I want to be the one that gets to plan it all and be in charge and in control. But I want to be busy. Like, I have way more fun on vacations that I'm busy on. So,
Would you ever go on a cruise with your family?
ugh, I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. It makes me feel nervous.
Yeah.
Like I can't escape. Not in control.
Yeah. Some of those waves got insane.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and you can't get off. Like,
And I get motion sickness, too.
Oh.
Yeah, so
Probably not the best idea.
not the
Yeah,
then I need the
Dramamine.
Dramamine. I'd sleep
and then
the
if
whole
you get
time.
the drowsy Dramamine,
Yeah.
then it would be boring. That would be terrible.
I don't know, but it'd be kind of fun to try it once too. So, you kind of shared your ideal vacation,
Yeah.
just leaving us all the time.
That's true.
Yes.
I would like to go on an all-inclusive place
Oh yeah,
because we have so many kids that it's like
just let them do.
you're
whatever.
still
yeah.
10. I don't care if you're 15. You're 10 and you're going to eat off the kids' menu and you're going to get water. Just kidding, but not really.
And Lenny's like, I'm a grown man.
Let me eat.
I'm not eating off the kids' menu anymore.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that does sound fun.
Okay, so we have one last final question. Do you have any funny or embarrassing moments during your vacations? Or any specific ones that you want to tell today?
I do. So the same vacation where we were supposed to be dog sitters, the hard part about it was it wasn't hopping because we weren't right by the beach. So there weren't as many restaurant options and places open at night because it was just a smaller town. So we always eat later when we're on vacation because we usually get a later start to our day. We like to sleep in and then go hang out on the beach and then come in and get ready like as the sun starts to go down and go to dinner at like 8 or 9 o'clock every single night. And we were looking for kid-friendly places, and I was trying to read reviews this time and look up places that said family-friendly, and I found a place called Wings.
Or Hooters.
Yeah, Wings, not Hooters. And it sounded good to everybody. It had like all the check marks, family-friendly. It was open till the time we needed it to be, and we walked in, and we looked around, and I was just kind of in shock for a moment because there's like the swimsuit edition, Sports Illustrated all over the walls, and like there's lots of skin everywhere. And my kids, it was a couple years ago, so they were all a lot younger, and they're looking around, and my daughter looks over at me and goes, "Mama, I don't think we're supposed to be here." And my husband's like trying to figure out, what do we do? How do we escape right now? Because the person's looking for a table for us, the hostess.
Oh, my.
But they had on like the shortest shorts that I have ever seen in my life. And my son goes, as loud as you can possibly imagine, "Mom, why do I see butts?"
Oh, my goodness.
So then we looked at each other, me and my hubs, and we were like, yeah, we're out of here. Yeah. So we left, and we ended up going to a different wing place that we knew was going to be a normal wing place. And the server walked up to our table, and my son goes, "He has pants on." So the server's like, yep, I usually wear pants to work. So we had to explain that situation to him. But that's one of my favorite memories because, like, all of my family was uncomfortable, but we didn't know what to do or how to escape.
Wow.
But Hudson, my son,
So funny.
You didn't know
butts.
how to escape the butts.
Yeah. Why do I see butts?
I forgot about that story. I totally would not have said Hooters when I said it because it slipped my mind. I was trying to be funny. I'm like, oh crap.
No,
I
it
just
actually
said that.
was like
It
that,
is
except
kinda
for
like
it was
Hooters, but it was on
butts.
the bottom.
Butts instead of boobs. I'm like, way to give away the punchline right away. Thanks for that.
Hooters. So when we went to Maine with our camper, we drove through New York City. Like, not the city, but like the outskirts of the city. And so we decided that it would be really cool to drive across the George Washington Bridge. And so we're in this line, and we get close enough to like a toll place, and it says $1 per foot is the charge for you to go across the George Washington Bridge.
Like how many feet were in your car? Or
No, like how long was your car?
What?
You charge by the foot.
By the foot. Well, we were 57 feet from bumper to bumper.
Oh my goodness.
And we had to pay $57 to cross a 1 mile bridge. That's not even the best part. The best part is we put our camper onto a ferry with our camper and truck on the ferry, and it costs us less to go across that bridge.
Was it worth it?
It's memorable.
It really wasn't. It was kind of foggy. It was weird. It was memorable. I mean, we still have the receipt of $57.
Oh my gosh.
So, and then my second one is we went to Washington, D.C., 2015, I think it was. And we showed up on the day of the Cherry Blossom Festival. So it was packed, like a sea of people. We couldn't see across the lake to the other monuments. I mean, people everywhere. So we're standing in line to get on the DC big bus for a tour of DC. Aaron and I are talking. We have 2 toddlers, and I turn around and I see my youngest son with his tongue on the window of the guest relations
Oh my God.
store, and he's licking it as far as he can reach. He's like on his tippy toes, and I'm like, oh my gosh. Kelly, do you have any funny stories?
I don't know. Funny or embarrassing?
Embarrassing, funny, it can be anything.
Well, one year at Disney. So I love Baymax from Big Hero 6. And I finally got to meet him, like the real Baymax. Not really, but you know.
The real Baymax.
So I was super excited, and I don't know what got into me. I was like a kid again. So I ran towards this big Baymax, and I almost knocked him over. And they're like, ma'am, you got to calm down. So that was that. I'm trying to think of funny stories other than, well, my parents were in the Amway business, so we traveled all over, and I would always bring my best friend from high school, and we would bring our bag of tricks. So when we would be driving on the road, we had like a poopy diaper we would shake out the window to get people's like reaction.
Oh my goodness.
We had
the prankster right
fake
here.
Poop we'd put on toilets. We had fart spray that we would spray like by the people's door and knock on it and run.
Oh, gosh.
So we were just trouble, and we liked to cause a lot of trouble. And we're in these really fancy hotels, which was kind of fun. Like they were they were in the Amway business because we got to go to all these really fancy hotels, and they'd go to conferences, and me and my friend would like hang around with all the other kids whose parents were there. So yeah, so that was fun.
Pranking people.
We would always prank people. That's always the best way. Or we'd spray the fart spray in the elevator and then get out.
Oh man, we have a friend who
You're probably the reason those hotels have bad reviews.
Yeah, right? It smells bad in here.
Yeah.
Oh man.
We had a friend who had a fart machine, and we were in the movie theater one night, and he brought it with him, and he dropped his Milk Duds, and when he went over to pick them up, he pushed the fart machine, and the people in front of him was like, something wrong with you? Because he's like bumping the chair.
Oh my goodness.
It was amazing. But that fart machine showed up everywhere.
Yeah. So we were known for this stuff.
Oh, man.
My friend. So we went to, there was like a big high school basketball game, and we were in the student section, and she got out the cannon. And the whole stands cleared out. Oh. Nobody ever caught us. I mean, that was terrible.
I mean, because anyone could let that go.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It didn't really smell like a fart, though. It just smelled bad. So.
Oh my goodness.
I tried like attacking Lenny on our honeymoon, like just joking around, like scaring him, and he threw me in the water. So I'm like, well, that was fun. That was not fun.
First impressions.
What are you doing? No, I'm just kidding.
Were you like fully clothed? Or
well, we were in our bathing suits walking, but I'm like, you punk, what are you doing?
That's amazing.
He's like, I'll show you. Yeah. Prank me.
Yeah, don't prank me anymore. Any other stories? Hillary, you got any?
I don't think so. I mean, my butt was out once on the beach.
Excuse me?
If you could see our eyes right now, they just got really big. Your butt was out.
Was you on a nude beach?
Were you in Wings?
No. It
was that beach in Russia where people didn't wear clothes?
It was so embarrassing.
I've been to one of those too, in Hungary, actually.
We were in the ocean, and the waves were like a little on the rougher side for where we go, and I was trying to keep kids from going underneath, and it took my bathing suit bottoms down.
Did it take them like completely?
No,
oh, that would have been awesome.
Oh, thanks for that.
Hey, can you come here, please? I need a towel.
Oh gosh, so embarrassing.
Try to wrap this around me quickly, please.
The funny thing is, isn't that water like see?
Yes.
Like you can see through.
Yeah, because up there in the.
But my butt was above the water.
Oh,
like we don't go like deep. So once the waves went down,
my goodness.
I turn around and there's people like seeing that, and I'm just gonna. I don't have like a super beautiful butt. Like it's a straight pancake. So flat, so embarrassing. So my kids think it's the greatest story, though. I'm like, sorry for the show. Like I told those people that. Oh my gosh. It's great. That was a great way to end this. Yeah?
Yeah. Yep. Thank you for listening to the Calm, the Storm, the Whimsy podcast. Follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Facebook, and Instagram. Stay tuned for our next episode.